know Tim, but you really don't. Tim grew up in a difficult world that was very hard to manage sometimes. He would like to tell us about this world and how it shapes his life today. Let's welcome our Toastmaster of the Year in 2020 with his speech entitled, My Two Fathers. Please welcome Toastmaster of the Year.
Good morning, Toastmasters.
Good morning. Good morning, Timothy.
Most of you don't know this about me, but I had two fathers. Let me tell you my story. I grew up in Memphis, Tennessee. My first father was the principal of the largest high school in Memphis, and it was the second largest high school in the state of Tennessee. He was a principal there for 15 years. It was Kingsbury High School, KHS, and I attended that the 9th through the 12th grade. Back in those days, principals could use corporal punishment. He walked up and down the halls with a paddle, not this one. Inscribed on the paddle was the Board of Education. Believe me, he used it quite often. He was extremely popular with the kids. He loved to dance, and he would often do so at pep rallies. One time during a student talent show, there were three brothers up there, Alex, dancing. They were having a good time. Suddenly my dad shows up as the fourth dancer. He cleared the stage. The three guys just stood back and watched him dance. He spun around, threw his jacket off, and they all just went crazy. Suddenly he started doing the robot on stage. The kids, especially the African American kids, went bananas. It was a lot of fun to watch. I don't think they thought a white man could move like that. They all loved him so much. My mother just turned 83. For her birthday, I found a group on Facebook that was everybody that ever went to my dad's school. So I went out there and I posted something and I said, my mother's turning 83 and I'd love to do something for her for her 83rd birthday. If you have any memories of my dad, would you please post something about your experience with him in high school? I got over 100 responses. Wow. I put them together in a book and I sent it to her for her birthday. And I made copies for myself and my brothers as well. She loved it so much. I want to share a few things from this book with you guys. This is from Ed. Tim, I had a tremendous amount of respect for your dad. I did something stupid in the 10th grade, and of course I received my 3 licks from him. He shook my hand afterwards. He got my attention. I never received any more licks. My favorite quote from him was, I might lose the battle, but I'm going to win the war. This is from John. When Bill first came to KHS, Bill Taylor first came to KHS, he called an assembly so he could let the student body know there was a new sheriff in town. Before he showed up, the school was ruled by anarchy. I still remember him holding that paddle in his hand while patting the other hand. There ain't nobody here who's tough except me, he said. If you doubt me, try me. There were no takers, at least not at that time. I thought he was going to beat me to death over the next few years, but we wound up being great friends. I'll have to say, he made some of the more energetic young men hall monitors. Nobody roamed the halls without a pass. I thought the world of Bill Taylor, and I think everyone who ever came to know him did too. This is from a good friend of mine, Jimmy Chandler. Tim, glad to see you here. Your dad was the greatest. I loved him. I remember he punched me in the shoulder one day while leaving the auditorium, almost knocked me into a wall. Then I asked him why he punched me. He laughed and said, you'll do something later today to deserve it. Not a better principal, man, or father figure. As you can tell, my dad was a loved and respected man. My second father was an alcoholic. At 10 years old, I woke up to the sound of them fighting again. They were screaming at each other in the living room. I lay quietly in my bed, hoping that it would end soon. My second father burst into the room. He yanked me and my brother up for some reason and took us into the room where they were fighting. I could tell he was very drunk. He and my mother screamed back and forth at each other, and I saw him hit her several times. My brother and I just stood there and cried. Eventually, my mother dashed into her bedroom, into their bedroom, and locked the door, locked herself into the bathroom. My second father followed her and started pounding on the door trying to get in. I'll never forget that noise as long as I live. He punched a hole in the wall trying to get the door open. I don't remember how that night ended, but I can tell you that was not the last time something like that happened. You know, the really sad thing is that both these fathers were the same man. Now you know the world that I grew up in. It was very tough to reconcile these things all the time. You know, as imperfect human beings, we have all been influenced by those we love, either for positive or negative. Fellow Toastmasters, let me tell you, it's not what happens to you, it's what you do. When I was young, I thought my circumstances were normal. I thought everybody's family was like this. Today, I have my own family, and I choose to live my life and treat my family completely different than my father did. Regardless of my father's actions and the battles that he had, the demons that he had with alcoholism, I will always love him. I will admit, I would have given anything to see more of my first dad at home. In some strange way, the speech today has allowed me to dig a little deeper and forgive the man that was so impactful in my life. I also know, without a shadow of a doubt, that both my fathers would be proud